Hey there, Teresa here. As you can see, I'm outside. It's the middle of the day, another hot, dry day here in Wisconsin. If I turn it around here, you can kind of see this is what we call our back 40 on our farmhouse. See how yellow and brown it is? That's usually what it looks like, you know, maybe in late August or so when we're used to not having rain, but this is still middle of June. We've been, we haven't had any real significant rain for a month and a half or so. So I came out in the middle of the day with it in the 90s or so because I had to check on the little seedlings in our garden here. Just planted some pepper plants last night, and you know they're still getting adjusted. And this heat, it would be really easy for them to really be struggling. So I wanted to make sure they had, good water so that they could continue to thrive. And it occurred to me, and I'm kind of going to go on a stretch here, but if you could personify my little pepper plants, my little tomato plants, etc. Let's say I didn't come out and water them. If it's hot and there's drought and all of that going on, but I'm so busy, I got my things to do, I got my life to tend to, I got to handle it. Two things would happen. They would die. They would die physically without the water they need. But if you could personify those plants, even before they died physically, I think they'd die emotionally and spiritually. And the reason why is because I can think of nothing more crippling, more that can kill something, is to not be cared for, to not be noticed, to not be cared for. That's my word. In a sense, to not be loved. And, I'm stretching it here when I'm personifying my pepper plants, but yet, isn't that what's happening with so many people around the world? That, they're struggling. They don't have the resources they need. They don't have water to drink, or food to eat, or shelter over their head. And that's scarcity in any shape or form. But the real scarcity, the real pain that I have to imagine hurts even more than their physical hunger, their physical sense of insecurity, unsafety, is if in that experience they also feel like nobody cares. Nobody sees them. My pepper plants are fortunate because I have water. We have access to water here, our spring, so I can water and care for them. But so many people these days who are struggling physically, who do not have the resources they need to live and grow and thrive. I can imagine that the real scarcity is what happens inside when they look around or look on the television and see people in a world where others have the things that they need and they don't share them. They don't share of their abundance to give and help those who do not have those resources. And besides just the physical challenge and wounding and damage that does to a human being, can you imagine not having what you need just to live, just a simple, healthy life? And seeing people who have that and so much more do nothing. Not take the time to interrupt their busy life like I did this afternoon to go water my pepper plants, but just keep dealing with their stuff. I can't imagine how lonely and horrendous that is, how invalidating that is, how damaging that is, to not be seen, to not be cared for, to not be loved. You know, when we don't share, those of us who have so much, when we are not willing to share what we've been given really in abundance, my friends, I'm talking money, I'm talking resources, I'm talking time and health and energy, with those who truly do not have those things, the scarcity we create is not just of the resources they need. I have to believe the real scarcity is those people really start to think they don't matter. But they do matter because they're here. They too were created by the divine to be a unique expression of the divine. It's up to us who have so much and can get in our inaccurate perceptions of scarcity and be so busy and doing our things and focused only on ourselves. It's up to us to change that pattern. How can you share some of what you've been given, some of what you've received, so as to have someone who doesn't have that not only get those resources, also, even if it's just in a moment, feel seen, feel supported, feel cared. Have them know that they matter. I mean, seriously, right now, if you were one of my pepper plants, and I just was busy, it's like, oh well, it's the drought. They'll have to figure it out themselves. They'll just have to figure out a way. And I just kept going about my life and didn't take the time to come out and fill a watering can with water and pour water on you so that you could continue to grow and thrive. I mean, seriously? What wound would that create to your heart, to your soul? How would that have you start to doubt your value? You know, there's a lot of things that aren't working in our world, and the way we do money and the way we share life-giving resources or don't share them is part of it. So today I invite you to stop and think, how can you interrupt your day-to-day life and see the resources that you have and share them, give them, support some cause, some person, some organization who can make sure those resources are distributed to those who do not have it through no fault of their own. Not just so they have food and water and shelter, but so that they know a much more important thing, that they matter.